Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I had to watch SevenWebheads, at least hear what he had to say before I actually go for it. Of course, his video actually gave me the idea of why not do a video of what I thought. So, for everyone who already saw Spider-Man 3, my review of it, you basically know exactly what I thought, and basically I did digging and found that Spider-Man 3 was truly a sabotage film. It really, really was. And for people who actually is like, where's the evidence? Look online, people. I'm here to tell you exactly what is going on, but for you guys to actually do all the work for you to actually tell you this, it's really, really not that easy. I mean, all right, let's just see how I can help you out right quick before I get into this. Is that you have to just look for what Alvin Sargent said when he was about to do Spider-Man 4. Basically, the stuff like that. And after that, you basically should look for some of the Sam Raimi things. He actually admits that he had no control, no creative control whatsoever on Spider-Man 3. Even though he wrote the script for it, but they told him exactly what he has to put in the script. So he had very lack of control of exactly how to make the movie good. Because the freaking executives actually told him what should be in the movie. Especially having Everett with the whole, we want Venom. Venom should be the movie. Put Venom in it. Put Venom in the movie. Everybody loves Venom. Which Sam Raimi never ever wanted Venom actually in a movie whatsoever. So technically, if he didn't push Sam Raimi to actually put Venom in the movie, he would have got his Venom movie and been happy with it by now. But of course, he had to keep on pushing for Sam Raimi to actually get a Venom in his movie, which kind of reason why is a big turnoff for me for Spider-Man 3. But anyways, here we go with the whole thing. So Sony's franchise, Sony's Spider-Man franchise, they had two right now. They have two already. So the first franchise, I was same as freaking SevenWebheads. The fact that when it first came out, I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. And as soon as I bought the movie, you know for a fact, I kept on watching it over and over and over and over again. I knew mostly everything that actually was in there. Heck, let's see, did I catch? No, it was later because, well, I was still a kid, but eventually I saw the whole, oh my gosh, they mentioned Eddie Brock, and oh my gosh, they mentioned Dr. Connors, and the fact that he actually worked for Dr. Connors but got fired because, well, he was late coming there. And I think there's many other things too that I'm going to have to relook to see, because if I missed those, chances are I might have missed more. But either way, I was so excited, and then when Spider-Man 2 came out, oh my gosh, I remember when I actually watched that scene with the clock tower, or heck, the exclusive little scene with them on the subway, and then as soon as watching it, it was like amazing, and especially the title, yeah, the intro to the Spider-Man movie. The first one, as you guys can see, the first one was the first of many Spider-Man movies. That was the forerunner for how Spider-Man developed, because without that one, basically Amazing Spider-Man would look just like Spider-Man does. Well, it'll look, I don't really know. Well, since the camera, I think it was Spidey Cam or something, I forgot what it's called, but it was the one that you're able to look down the street. Without that being created in 2000s, well, guess what? Then he had to recreate it himself, and then you have to try to tinker with it and all that stuff. Given it would be a good movie, but with what Amazing Spider-Man looks like right now, and, well, good news is that if it was the first movie, it could actually have been better than what it is. But anyways, yeah, Spider-Man 2, that was really, really good. And then Spider-Man 2.1 came out, which I would like to say, how come there was in the Spider-Man 1.1? Why didn't you get the idea before? Because you would have so got my money, but, oh yeah, I forgot. DVDs wasn't as advanced as it is today. But still, I would at least like you guys to actually make a 1.1 with some added features. Especially since later on, 9/11 died down. I would like you to actually have put that deleted scene, quote unquote deleted scene of them in the bank robbery thing. I would have liked you to have put that in the movie. So at least it would have been quite fun. I mean, allow Sam Raimi to add a little bit more tidbits in there and some reshoots and stuff where it actually could have made it even more awesome, just like what 2.1 did with Spider-Man 2. But Spider-Man 2 came out and I was so hyped, especially since now the internet came to the... Actually, the internet is now very, very resourceful when it came to finding out news. Every single day I went to dailybugle.com checking out stuff. And as soon as they revealed Spider-Man 3 and they had the black suit, I was like, holy crap! Along with, wait a minute, that's not the real black suit. That's like a different black suit completely. And I kind of had to, it took like some days or some weeks to actually get used to the idea of, well, the black suit gets to have, is just like the original suit, but it's just that they got dyed on it. Yeah, they just threw black dye on it and there you go. Eventually I got used to it and it was good, and then they basically added more stuff to it. The fact that you got to see, well, they cast in they cast in Topher Grace. Yeah, that's his name. In there, and then you got to see him getting engulfed by the symbiote, which I was like, oh God, please, man, please allow that to just be the end credits or something. Which I didn't even know what the end credits was, but I was hoping that would be like at the end of the movie where it's gonna be a part 4 or part 2 of it, where it's like, oh man. And of course, you got Gwen Stacy. Yeah, you had Gwen Stacy, her own page and stuff. And then there was like some leaked stuff. The fact that there was a final swing leaked. No idea who did it. You can't even find a video on YouTube anymore. I don't think so. I think that got this gone, but maybe it's in there. Maybe it's there somewhere. Let's see what else. Oh, the fact that there was like Spider-Man getting choked by something, was black and stuff, and it was like, I can't tell what that is. Who is it? Of course, we eventually find out it's Venom, but it's kind of like a bad camera angle that made him look something different. And then as soon as Venom shows up, I was like, oh God. Oh God, man. Please. My gosh. Yeah, but the 2.1, my gosh, that was great. 8 more added minutes to it. Oh, man. If you haven't seen 2.1 in its entirety, not on the freaking TV will cut out some stuff. But if you haven't seen it in its entirety, I would say go buy it today. Oh, yeah. How will you buy it? Well, I guess you guys gonna have to go to freaking... it's somewhere. I can tell you 2.1 is somewhere. It's... Yeah, too bad you're not gonna get the bonus disc. Which the bonus disc was like the icing on the cake. The fact that they were talking about the villains. The fact that they were talking about how Harry Osborn, and he has so many things that happen to his life, and they can't wait to see what they can do with it. And of course we all see what they do with it. The fact that they killed him. And I'm like, you just said he has so much stuff in his life right now. I'm shocked that you actually just killed him. I'm still looking for it. It's somewhere. I'm still looking for where they actually said that. Well, it was Laura Zinskin, whatever her name is. Rest in peace, I guess. But still, she was the one who hyped up the fact that Harry is going to get more storyline in the future movies. Of course you had Sandman, of course you had Venom, and then they talked about how all the stuff they did with them and stuff like that. Which, Spider-Man 3, I was hyped for it, super hyped for it, and then as soon as I went into the theater, oh my gosh, they creeped me out. The intro creeped me out. I mean, the symbiote, I love the black suit, period. I just love the black suit. I was hoping that with the black suit, they actually would do what happened in animated 1994. Animated series 1994. The fact that the suit is able to turn into any clothes that he could think of. I was waiting to see how they would pull that off. I was waiting for that. And guess what they did? They basically made him turn into I guess it. Yeah, the freaking term that's going around is emo Peter. Yeah, that's now that's been alive for 8 years now. 8 years? No, 7 years. Sorry, it's been around for 7 years now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I really don't try to talk to anyone in my class that was like emo Peter. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. But still, they just gave him a lovely touch of the fact of he wants to wear black clothes for some reason. Not the fact that the suit actually turns into black clothes, but instead he actually wants to wear black clothes, which is kind of like, okay, that's not what I was waiting for. This is horrible. It's like, yeah, it's horrible. Oh man. And then the rest of the movie just goes downhill from that. I can't even pinpoint where I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not watching this anymore. I can't really tell you when I get to that point. I don't know. I mean, I think the last part where it all gets okay was the fact of Harry gets his head bumped, and then he's like, man, I need to get some girls in my freaking mansion. And that's where I was like, you know what? You could bring Liz Allen into this. He could get married. You know, just the fact of since he has a clear head, he can get married. He could be friends with Peter, and then eventually, maybe 2 freaking movies in, it's like, now here we go. Oh crap, he remembers everything. Oh crap, he's going to go after Peter. And then you could actually have Liz Allen there as the person who gives the reason. The person who's like, Harry, no, you shouldn't do this. You're such a sweet guy and everything, and da 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 da, and you're my husband and everything, and then it would have been something like a spectacle to actually look at. Heck, even if they actually allowed him to remember in that movie, it would have been cool that Liz Allen actually was there in the crowd watching him save his friend. It would have been something very, very cool to actually watch. But no, no. Heck, I remember reading and the fact that it was Sam Raimi who said, we're going to have the Sandman and the Vulture in this movie. And I was like, oh, that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to watch it, man. You freaking took Spider-Man 1 and raised it up high. And Spider-Man 2 was skyrocketed. I think Spider-Man 3 will even top that. But yeah, because of the executives and everyone who had some creative juices in, they basically lowered that bar very, very low. Heck, to the point of maybe actually hits the fact of being the same or even less than the original Spider-Man movie. Of course, since he had lack of creative juices, he basically had the topping of the subway to actually be part of how, yeah, so the train cars in Spider-Man 2 was supposed to be topped by the subway fight with Sandman, which was, I guess it was okay. Yeah, I guess it was okay and everything, but it's still like the point of there's just too much things that's crazy. I mean, including the fact that instead of giving Harry his girlfriend, you basically had Mary Jane straight up double cross, which courtesy of Laura Zinskin, who came up with the idea of, hey, I would like to see what happens when there's a love triangle. Good job, Laura Zinskin. Good job on that idea. Good job. So it's really, really, this is the point where I straight up was like, Sony, you have some explaining to do. It came to the point of me waiting for it to be on DVD so I can buy it to see if they changed something. To see that what a movie I saw in the theater is not what I will see in the freaking DVD. That's what I was hoping for. That something changed. The fact that they were like, we gotta redo this movie, and they cut and pasted and made it better than what it was. But when I watched it, which this was my third and last time watching it, when I was watching it, it basically turned into the fact of it was the same movie I saw in the theater. And I was like, something's not right. That's the real thing, that how everything happened. But of course, let me just tell you the fact of, if you haven't seen my 5th anniversary of being here, is that the fact of, I named my channel. Yeah, you actually had to have a channel to actually. I'll tell you the crazy story, but still, I needed a name. And I was like, Black Spider-Man, taken. Dark Spider-Man, taken. Dark Spy, not taken. Okay, accept. So yeah, that's what happened. And then, yeah, I mean, so for past years, I was hoping that Spider-Man 4 would actually solve the problem. That Spider-Man 4 would help raise my spirits up, and they could fix, or at least fix the relationship of Peter and Mary Jane, besides the whole, well, they just killed freaking Harry Osborn. And it came to the point of, maybe he's alive. Just the fact that Harry Osborn is alive and Norman Osborn's alive is because, well, notice the fact of what happened to his face. His face totally healed. But when the pumpkin bomb hit him, he didn't have his face healing up like previously. So it's kind of like, okay. Well, so this is where the big disconnect happened, and as soon as Spider-Man 4 got canceled, I was like, no, 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 no. No, you can't just cancel Spider-Man 4. This Sam Raimi trilogy ends with this open-handed thing that you can't even have imagination for. It's kind of like really, really horrible what's going on here. And of course, I didn't even explain about the dance routines that happened too. Yeah. I mean, that part was okay. I was okay with that one. The fact that Robbie was like, man, Black Spider-Man is awesome. I was like, I like that. That part was okay. That part, I can cut that out and actually place it on a mat. That was okay. But everything else was kind of like, my goodness. And then one big thing that was kind of stupid is the fact of, hold up. So listen to me, Eddie Brock. You got all the freaking memories of Spider-Man, and yet you don't even realize the fact of when you got pinned to the freaking wall that it was the symbiote. You don't know about that? I mean, yes, I know the symbiote can block some things from the person, but it still is kind of like, so you really don't realize it? Like, you can simply put two to two together. You're a freaking reporter. That's what you kind of do. And of course, the also crazy part that I already said many times is the fact that Eddie Brock was in the first Spider-Man. He was mentioned. He tried to get Spider-Man pictures for weeks. That means you don't actually have to reestablish him. He was there. It's just that I don't really know. Maybe Peter already knew about it. But heck, he didn't want Venom in the freaking trilogy in the first place. So it's like, yeah, that's why he didn't even want to even talk about Eddie Brock whatsoever. So it's like, so with them canceling Spider-Man 4 and then all of a sudden said reboot, I was hoping for Spider-Man 4 to come still. Even if they had to reboot, I was hoping Spider-Man 4 would come. And then you basically had to reboot, and reboot seemed plausible at first. But then eventually it shows that the director didn't know what the hell he was doing. Just the fact of the end credit scene was actually in one of the last trailers. The freaking marketing dude. Whoever isn't part of the marketing, ever since Spider-Man 3, he keeps on spoiling that movie for everybody. Ever since Spider-Man 3, he keeps on freaking do it. I mean, he got deleted scenes, threw it in the freaking trailer. Spider-Man 3, look at it. He got some deleted scenes, he threw it in there, and what? He's going to say, oh, whoops. It's like, please fire that guy. Fire that guy, get in touch with the director, ask what's in the movie, ask what's not in the movie, and get stupid wise decisions to actually not have all of the freaking movie out on display. It's kind of like, You have a daughter. Would you actually send your daughter in a skimpy miniskirt and a freaking tube top that doesn't even cover her chest good enough? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. So it's like, yeah, treat this like your daughter. But still, so Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man came out. I watched it, like I said so many times. I have no feeling for it. I tried watching it a couple of times. I think it was still three. Yeah, so 3 times I watched it. Just like Spider-Man 3. And I don't know. I quit watching it. It just doesn't do anything for me. Even trying to dig for something, which there's nothing there. Even if you try to dig, there's really nothing there at all. So it's kind of like, besides the whole end credits where you actually see, well, not end credits, the fact that at the end of Spider-Man you see the freaking bridge. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's horrible. The fact that you actually were planning on killing Gwen Stacy. That's horrible. I would have rather you just hinted that in two freaking movies, and then the third movie, that's when everything goes horribly, horribly wrong. But with that said, I looked into it. I was trying to get hyped on this Amazing Spider-Man new franchise of Spider-Man, and it horribly, horribly undersold for me personally. I mean, like what so many people said, they were giving it a dark setting, and it was trying to compete with what was going on around it, which was the Dark Knight trilogy. And well, I mean, I guess it was good. I guess. But it has so many loopholes and stuff that they were just trying to straight up rush and let it go so it's able to be durable. But it's kind of like, well, there's so many things that I can point out in Amazing Spider-Man that makes it totally, totally crap. Makes it very, very messed up. And it's not even Spider-Man at all. Heck, it's not even Peter Parker. Given, I do have to say, when it comes to pointing out who is the best New Yorker Spider-Man in the world, Amazing Spider-Man is the best one to watch because he does sound like and act like a New Yorker. Which, yeah. Technically, Spider-Man doesn't. Spider-Man seems nicer than most New Yorkers. But oh my gosh, he makes it seem like, dude, you are too much New Yorker for your own good. So with that movie out, it's kind of still for me to actually cry out. And heck, I found out eventually that Spider-Man 3 was a freaking sabotage film. And that basically brings to the point of I would like to see Spider-Man 3 redone in freaking Sam Raimi's creative mind. No freaking any stupid executives, especially Javier Red, have anything to freaking do with it. I would like to just see what he would actually want Spider-Man 3 to be, which he would have had Vulture for the first time. There's many people who like Vulture and wish to have him in a movie. Well, guess what? Avi A. Red and the rest of the freaking stupid executives screwed your chance to actually see a normal Vulture, I guess. Quote unquote normal. Because as you can see what's going on with Webb's freaking franchise, they're planning on having Vulture fully loaded and ready to shoot people. Wow. Unknown, I still have to look at the Chronicles, which I kind of remember looking at it a tiny little bit, and I think he actually wanted a natural Vulture in it. So that means that, well, yeah, he won't actually be truly mechanical. Yeah, so with that said, I basically want a Spider-Man 3 normalized. I want also a Spider-Man 4 just to see what would have went on with it. And I just wanted a nice ending. That's what I truly wanted. It's just a nice ending where Sam Raimi actually gets to have his creative juices before getting dissed and pushed to the curb, along with just seeing what he actually imagined Spider-Man 3 would be. As for the freaking Sony franchise of Spider-Man, is it dying or not? Well, Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, that was amazing thing that was coming out. I was okay. I was enjoying it and everything. Heck, they actually, yeah, they freaking leaked a lot of crap. Yeah, marketing still didn't learn. Marketing still didn't learn, but at least they actually were like, no, 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 do not put the frozen head in the freaking trailer. No, 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 no. At least the good news is that they figured out that. But of course, we all thought that the whole Sinister Six part was actually the end credits, but it seems like it wasn't. Yeah, with that said, let's see. Let's see. They did show the Venom symbiote, and I actually still have footage of that. Yeah, they showed the Venom symbiote, and they freaking got rid of it. They retconned it out of there. Shoot, man, there's just a lot of stuff. A lot of freaking stuff in there that is like truly, oh my gosh. And for people who are like, it's 6 doors, oh my gosh. No, actually 7 doors. Yeah, because the suit for Green Goblin was actually in a separate door, which was actually marked number 7. So, yeah. And heck, the Rhino suit shouldn't even have been in that freaking thing. So, as you can see, even today's terms, you don't even have Mark Webb actually being creative. Which, it brings a good, interesting idea if the Russians themselves created the suit and they needed the plutonium to power it up. That makes so much sense besides the random, oh, well, so the Russians basically is trying to steal plutonium. Well, you know what they are. They're freaking terrorists or whatever. So, yeah, that makes sense. And, like, that makes half sense. It'll make more sense if they were trying to steal plutonium and maybe they needed, like, a little bit more. And as soon as they were able to steal more of it, especially since Spider-Man was missing, that means that basically he didn't break out of jail. It's more like the Rhino just said, I am the Rhino and I'm stealing crap and Spider-Man's not even here, so screw y'all. I get to rule his place. That seems kind of better. But still, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 did nice. But one thing that really rattled their cage, really rattled Sony's cage, is the fact that Avengers came. As soon as Avengers came, they were like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And then they see everything that Marvel's doing, Marvel Studios. The fact that they have mostly a movie every single year. And they want to top it too with the whole a movie every year. And then, yeah, I'm noticing the fact that you guys aren't living up to what you just said. You said a movie every year, and now you're just saying, oh, well, next movie is going to be like in 2017. Like, 14, 17, that's not counting. 14, 15, 16, 17, that's counting. So it's kind of like, yeah, you guys shouldn't have just said that out of the blue. You shouldn't have blurted it out. You should have just, if you do it, you do it. If you don't do it, at least you didn't say that you guys will do it and then screw everything over for yourselves. And I guess the other thing would just be the fact of, well, the freaking Sinister Six thing, which personally, I'm just going to say I am just going to watch what happens. That's one thing I do, is I don't say, yeah, it's going to suck or it's going to rock. I'm just going to watch and see what happens. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, well, that sucks. That really sucks, and, well, congratulations, Sony. You made sure you caved under every single person who kept on saying, give the rights back to Marvel. My opinion is that, well, it would be great if you give it back to Marvel. Heck, how about, since you only want Peter Parker, let all of the Spider folk and Spider-Men go. Allow Ben Reilly to take the place of Spider-Man, so it'll be something interesting that they could actually do with it. Yeah, it'll be interesting. The fact that you're like, well, there's a Spider-Man clone, and you're like, there's someone very interesting we want to recruit. He's a weird type of person, and it seems like he has been cloned off of some other person, and then they can make some kind of crazy thing with it. Just the fact that Ben Reilly takes the place of Spider-Man in the Avengers. Why not? That would be interesting. Or Spider-Woman. They could give Spider-Woman back to him, even though they do have the whole... I don't know what they're going to do with that. So, Sony franchises, is it going strong or is it dying? I don't know. I think it's okay, but it's acting like a scared little girl. The fact that, or heck, it's acting like a kid. The fact that it's trying to like, oh yeah, well, I I say screw you, double infinity, or I'm gonna top you times 10, or I'm gonna top you times 1,000, or 1,000,000, or one or infinity times one. That's what it sounds like what they're doing. It's the fact that they're trying to freaking climb up the ladder and trying to go toe to toe with Marvel, but sadly, you guys don't have nothing truly to match yourselves with. I mean, you need to know where you stand. If you can't reach that high, don't try to reach that high that fast. Instead, build yourself. And that goes the same for freaking WB over there. You need to build yourself. Don't try to rush straight in for a Justice League movie. You need to do exactly what Marvel did. Make a blueprint out of that. Make it so that you're actually able to build yourself to that type of status. Given technically with the Sinister, well, technically with Sinister 6, I think you'd actually need to have at least maybe 4 movies of Spider-Man. Then you have Sinister 6 where they take on Spider-Man. Yeah, how about they take on Spider-Man, half of that, and then after that they basically say, you know who our true villain is? Oscorp. Yes. Yeah, and then you have someone who's a smart thing who says, well, I bet Spider-Man won't be good without his webs, and we already know that actually Spider-Man buys his stuff from Oscorp. So if we ransack Oscorp, guess what? We basically screw Spider-Man out of his webbing, so let's see if he can actually do stuff without it. Yeah. That'll be interesting. Yeah, so yeah, that's what you get for your Ultimates version of yourself, stealing from Miles Morales. That's what you get. But still, I think right now the freaking franchise is being quite childish. They're trying to climb up and become something that they will if they take their time, but if they don't take their time, guess what? They're going to fall very, very short. You just need to just take it right now as is, the fact that you can build yourself to it. If you build yourself to it, then guess what? Eventually, you actually will get what you want. And you'll be able to match yourself with what you actually want. Well, anyways, I'm done. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say. And right now, I'm just waiting to see what they want to do. If they're actually going to continue on with Sinister 6. I heard that the Venom movie is not canceled anymore, which is sad. Yeah, that's very, very sad. Yeah, so freaking Aviator still gets to have his wish of having freaking Venom. So we still have the question of where does his allegiance truly lie? Let's see, you also have the girl movie that could be Black Cat. Or it could be just some other person. But of course, since he's like the only spider person that should ever be is Peter Parker, that means chances are they're not going to be a freaking Spider Woman. So it's always the big question of if you're just going to use Peter Parker and maybe his variations, then let every single other person that's a spider person go. Let Jessica Drew go. Let's see who else. Heck, let Cindy Moon go. Yeah, they could so do something with Cindy Moon. Let Cindy Moon go. Let Ben Reilly go. He's a clone of Peter Parker, but since he's not Peter Parker, heck, you can let him go. Let Kane go. Let everyone who's actually a spider person, heck, let Mayday Parker go. Because, yeah, you're not going to go back and say, hey, Sam Raimi, we want to make a Spider-Girl movie, and we want to get you and get Tobey Maguire and get Kirsten Dunst back. Yeah, we know for a fact that's not going to happen. Maybe with Marvel, it could happen. But with these guys, not really. Heck, the only thing they did is just reference Tobey Maguire in a freaking book that was based... Well, a movie that was based on a book, which the book was there, but not the movie. And yeah, so That's all he gets? You give the bank robber, you get the person who shot Uncle Ben the freaking guest spot and not him? Dude. Dude, man. Just dude. That really does go to a bad start right there. Seriously, it does. But of course, we do have to admit, what about what about Stan Lee's cameo? That was best. Yeah, it gets better every time. I do have to admit, that's one thing that's always a charming thing to see is Sam Raimi's cameos. Alright, yeah, that's about all that really needs to be said. So, why don't you guys tell me what you think? Is the Spider-Man franchise for Sony? This is part 2. Yeah, let's say part 2. Are they actually doing what they actually saying? Or is just the fact of they don't really know what they're doing anymore? It's just the fact of they're trying to get something that people will enjoy instead of just doing what happened in Spider-Man 2. Stay focused and know what you want. We know you want money, so why don't you just continue on with what you have instead of trying to continue making lots and lots of stuff that you... Yeah. Yeah, so I think for right now, you have freaking Venom, you have Sinister Six, you have that unnamed girl movie, you have Spider-Man. That's 4 franchises that's decent enough. I mean, still, I would like to say, if you're not going to use any of the other Spider characters, it's a good idea to give those characters back to freaking Marvel because, well, Avi Arad's not going to let you use them. We know, we see for a fact he's not going to be able to actually ever use them. And I think it would be kind of cool if they actually get Miles Morales in the Avengers. That would be quite cool. Yeah, that would be quite cool. He actually gets to have his own TV series, own movie. Which, right now, he actually does have enough to give him a decent movie. Unlike when this new franchise started, he actually was on issue 3. Yeah, which issue 3 was basically giving you the idea of why not have his bad guy be Electro. He faced Electro for the first time. Which I would love to see how he goes against Electro now, but that's not really in this topic. But anyways, tell me what you guys think. I'm whipping out. Peace.